Ferguson Jenkins became the first African-Canadian MLB player in 1965 when he signed a contract with the Philadelphia Phillies and was an icon and role model for any Canadian athlete. Fergie grew up as an only child with his parents Dolores Jenkins and Fergus Jenkins Sr. Dolores, shortly after the birth of Ferguson, had lost eyesight, making her unable to witness her son play. He was born on December 13, 1942 in Chatham, Ontario. His father was known as one of the greatest Canadian semi-pro baseball players ever.
His love for baseball made him keep working towards getting better as a player. Even as a young boy, he had practiced his throwing speed and accuracy by throwing lumps of coal into open cars of oncoming trains near his home. He played many sports competitively with a greater focus on track and field, but also took part in other sports such as basketball, hockey, and swimming. Baseball may have been his greatest passion, but not his greatest talent. His biggest fan and critic, Ferguson Jenkins Sr., believes that his son was an even greater hockey player than he was a baseball player. According to his father, he played in a pickup hockey game in London and took a high stick to the face that knocked out 3 of his front teeth while he was under contract with the Chicago Cubs. Another prime example of Fergie's athletic ability would be his time with the Harlem Globetrotters from 1967 to 1969 as a secondary source of income.
Fergie started his professional baseball career when he was 17 years old. He was signed by the Philadelphia Phillies in 1962 but never made his MLB debut until he was 22 in 1965. In that first season with the Phillies, he was a relief pitcher. The Phillies would trade him the next season to the Cubs for 2 players on the wrong side of 35, in what most would consider the worst trade in Phillies history. During his time with the Cubs, he posted 6 straight 20-win seasons. In the mix of that 6-season stretch, Fergie also lost more than 10 games 1-0, meaning that he did his job as a pitcher, but his teammates could not put points on the board to put them in a position to win. Also during this time, he won the 1971 National League Cy Young Award for being the best pitcher in the league.
Though the prime of his career was played in Chicago, he continued to put up wins for the Texas Rangers when he got traded in 1973. In his first season with the Rangers, Ferguson had a career best, posting a total of 25 wins, won the American League Comeback Player of the Year, came second in Cy Young voting, and finished 5th place in MVP voting. After the season, Jenkins started to bounce from team to team, playing a season for the Boston Red Sox, then returned to Texas for 3 more seasons, before returning to his most well-known ball club, the Chicago Cubs, for his 19th and final season. In his 19 seasons in the league, Fergie never played in a World Series, nor did he have much playoff experience, due to a lack of team skill. Ferguson had set many records and won lots of awards. He was the league leader in wins twice, led the MLB in fewest walks 5 times, the leader in most complete games pitched 9 times, and had the fewest home runs allowed 7 times. Ferguson was rewarded and recognized for his amazing 19-year career by being inducted into the 1991 American Baseball Hall of Fame and having his jersey retired by the Cubs number 31.
Ferguson was known on his team as funny, outdoorsy, and truly a kind man, always being available to sign an autograph for a fan or helping a fellow teammate when and where he can. He was charged with possession of narcotics during a customs search in Toronto, which were later dropped due to his shining reputation and lack of evidence. Before his Hall of Fame induction in 1991, Jenkins was in his second marriage with his new wife Mary Ann, 4th daughter, and stepson. Days before his induction, his wife was gravely injured in a car crash. She was rushed to the hospital where she would spend her last days. During this time is when Fergie found out he was up for Hall of Fame consideration for the 3rd time. But as they say, 3rd time's a charm, and Fergie was inducted. The only celebration that he had from accomplishing this feat was when he told his wife in the hospital the news, making her happy for the first time since the crash. Sadly, Mary Ann passed away due to her injuries 3 days after the news broke. Tragedy would continue to follow Fergie, as less than 2 years later, he would lose his girlfriend and his daughter. His daughter was a part of a murder-suicide in December 1991 involving his girlfriend at the time.
In conclusion, Jenkins was incredibly talented, hardworking, and resilient, having a successful 19-year career with the MLB as an ace pitcher, Hall of Famer, and Cy Young Award winner. He was known for his work ethic and ability to overcome adversity, always on the go between the MLB, the Harlem Globetrotters, and playing hockey. Even when he lost the life of his child and wife, he never changed who he was, always found a way to overcome these challenges.